Right now at 7, the FAA is reducing flights at 40 busy airports, including DFW, due to staffing shortages caused by the government shutdown. A few flights in and out of Tyler Pounds Regional already been canceled. We'll have the latest on which ones coming up. Plus, a major federal agency is dealing with a serious cyber breach, what lawmakers are being warned about, and why it's raising red flags. That's coming up. And Longview is calling on the community to step up today. Find out how you can help families in need amid the government shutdown and make a difference in just a few minutes.
A cloudy start to the day will give way to some sunshine into this afternoon. We'll go over the full forecast coming up on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
We're taking a live look over DFW Airport this morning. We know a lot of you here in East Texas travel there as a layover if you fly in and out of Tyler Pounds or East Texas regional airports. Starting today, the FAA says they will reduce air travel by 10% to 40 high-volume airports across the country. Now, this is because they don't have the staff to manage all of those moving planes. Air traffic controllers and TSA workers have been calling out sick because they haven't been getting paid amid the government shutdown. Now, here in Texas, that includes some of the largest airports like Dallas Love Field, DFW International, among a few airports in cities like Houston, Austin, and San Antonio as well. At Tyler Pounds Regional Airport, a couple of flights have already been canceled. As of right now, one arrival at 9:47 this morning and a departure at 10:17 have been canceled. According to FlightAware, all flights in and out of East Texas Regional are on time. And some airlines have said that they will work with passengers to reschedule any delayed or canceled flights. Good morning, y'all. Thanks for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is on assignment this morning. Well, it's another kind of cloudy day across East Texas and definitely humid out there, but not as foggy, which is good. Joel.
Yeah, that is some good news there. Definitely a huge improvement from yesterday. Starting out the day with a few clouds, those will eventually break apart. We'll see a lot more sunshine into this afternoon. Current temperatures right now a little bit warmer. Definitely not on the sunny sky. Definitely not sunny out there. We got some clouds out there. 64 degrees in Tyler this morning. 61 is that dew point, and south winds at 14 miles per hour. And for the rest of this morning, we're going to watch as those temperatures and clouds start to disappear, and those temperatures again in the upper 70s to low 80s for this afternoon. Winds right out of the southwest all across the area at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Those will start to shift out of the northwest and calm down just a little bit. You can see on our wind forecast here going back down into around the 5 to 10 mile per hour range by this afternoon. You can see that shift out of the northwest and eventually to the north. This is going to be the precursor to what happens this weekend when a colder air mass comes in. We got 80s for today, 80s for tomorrow, small chance of rain over deep East Texas, and then here comes that cold front into Sunday. Temperatures near 62 for the highs. We will be a little bit colder for your Monday. I'll show you just how much coming up in your forecast.
All right. Thank you, Joel. Well, if you are flying this weekend, good luck. Airlines are canceling about 10% of flights at certain airports today and preparing for even greater reductions. The FAA says the cuts are necessary because the government shutdown is causing air traffic controller shortages. Experts say it might feel like a snowstorm is hitting your airport if it's affected. In some ways, they say this current situation is worse than inclement weather. That's because it's affecting much of the country and will last for days. Amy Kiley has tips for people flying or booking flights in the near future.
There's a number of things you should be doing to be aware.
Experts say travelers who plan to fly soon should know their options. The FAA is building up to a 10% flight reduction at 40 airports. Experts advise people departing within 10 days to keep an eye on their airline's app for changes. They say carriers likely will try to preserve their hub-to-hub operations and cut regional flights instead.
It may not be a bad idea to delay travel if it's non-essential, or if you're in a smaller city, perhaps to drive to one of the larger hubs if it's close by, and also consider buying a backup ticket.
Several airlines are letting passengers change their flights for free. The law requires them to issue refunds for cancellations, but they're unlikely to reimburse stranded passengers for meals or hotels.
We have been rebooked on an 8 o'clock flight, but that flight is also delayed now until 11 p.m. and might never take off.
For people planning to buy tickets soon, experts suggest booking with airlines directly. They say that makes it easier to change flights. They recommend avoiding layovers if possible. And the Transportation Secretary suggests bracing for Thanksgiving impacts if the government stays closed.
If we have staffing triggers and we don't have enough controllers in an airspace where we did cut 10%, you might see additional delays.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Some airline loyalty programs make it especially easy to cancel flights purchased with miles. The airlines that are temporarily providing waivers to change flights without fees include American, Delta, Southwest, United, and Frontier. Well, just into our newsroom this morning, nearly 40 years after Ricky Harridge was found dead under a Henderson County bridge, authorities say they have finally identified who was responsible. DNA evidence from the 1987 case was recently re-examined using advanced forensic and genealogical techniques, linking Dallas Reynolds Casanova directly to the murder. He lived in the county at the time and died in 2008 in New Orleans. Sheriff Bodie Hillhouse calls this case a major breakthrough and says this long-awaited discovery finally gives Harridge's family some answers. New this morning, the Congressional Budget Office was hacked. That's according to an email sent to staff this week. The email did not name any suspects, but a U.S. official who was briefed on the hack believes China is behind the breach. Staffers were told to not click on any links sent from CBO accounts because they could be compromised. Officials say they are working to contain the breach and are investigating. Closer to home, the Houston County Sheriff's Office tells us that the arrest of a Gladewater police officer for child indecency is related to an arrest of one of their own deputies for aggravated sexual assault of a child. Gladewater police say Keenan Laza was fired from their department after the arrest. They called the allegations and evidence deeply disturbing. Now, this comes just hours after Houston County Sheriff's Office Deputy Skylar Laza was arrested for a similar child sex crime. Both agencies have been working with multiple law enforcement agencies, including Dallas Police. Skylar's bond has been set at $1 million. No bond has been set yet for Keenan. The Smith County Sheriff is clarifying his office's role in immigration enforcement following community concern after several people were taken into ICE custody this week. And today we are expected to get a number of exactly how many people were arrested. Sheriff Larry Smith says that his deputies are not conducting immigration raids or targeting families, and that the county's participation in the federal 287G program only applies when someone is already under some local families and calls for change from their neighbors. CBS19's Nayeli Carrillo was at yesterday's protest and joins us now with the latest.
Chants echoed through downtown Tyler as dozens gathered to protest the presence of federal immigration officers in Smith County.
And I'm here as a legal citizen. I cannot imagine being undocumented in these times. So let the people who have the privilege, right, to stand up and say no, do that for you. Among the crowd of protesters, Grace Delgado and her brother holding back tears. Their mother, Diana, who's lived in East Texas for more than 20 years and has no criminal record, was detained on Wednesday.
She's been here for more than 20 years, and she's been a good woman, hardworking, everything. She would always help people when she needed to. She always put others before herself.
Her story and the story of many others have drawn attention online and from advocacy groups who say the 287G program is creating fear among some local immigrant families. In his letter, Sheriff Smith said, quote, "The Sheriff's Office will always stand on the rule of law. Our goal is to uphold justice and keep Smith County a safe place for all residents," end quote. Still, activists say what's legal doesn't always feel fair.
And until this point, people have been able to look the other way because it was in blue cities, right? It was in blue states. It's happening here. It was only a matter of time before it knocked on our door.
Community groups say they'll continue organizing and helping affected families connect with attorneys and resources, while the Sheriff's Office insists it remains transparent and open to public dialogue. Nayeli Carrillo, CBS 19.
Thank you, Nayeli. Well, Dak Prescott lost his brother Jace to suicide in 2020. He is one of the foremost player advocates in the NFL for mental health initiatives, along with his teammate Solomon Thomas, who lost his sister by suicide. They will both be instrumental in helping their locker room cope with a devastating loss, as a Dallas Cowboys player was found after committing suicide yesterday. Jobin Paniker details the events and the investigation that led up to Nealon's death and the reaction from fans.
At 10:39 Wednesday night, Texas DPS called Frisco PD for help to find Nealon, who led troopers on a pursuit from Addison into Frisco. NTTA provided us a number of surveillance videos from the tollway around that time frame. It's hard to isolate Nealon's car in these videos, but there is one vehicle weaving in and out of traffic and at a high rate of speed, with police in tow and struggling to keep up. This is the radio call between officers and dispatch. They were in contact with Nealon's girlfriend.
We're talking to the girlfriend. She's trying to call his agent, but she's saying he is armed and has a history of mental illness, and her quote was, "He will end it all."
At 11 p.m., Frisco PD calls on Plano PD to do a welfare check on Nealon at his apartment in the city. Police tell us nobody was home.
There's nobody at the apartment.
40 minutes later, at 11:40 p.m., Plano PD got another request to check on Marshawn at the apartment.
They just received a text from him, a group text from him saying goodbye. They're concerned for his welfare.
Nealon's car was found crashed at Dallas and Warren Parkway in Frisco. Police say he left his car and ran off. Frisco deployed canines and drones to help find Marshawn.
For everybody, stay with a buddy. Don't go looking alone. This guy is armed.
3 hours after the initial call at 1:31 a.m., Marshawn Nealon was found dead after what police say was a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
It's just sad. It's just really sad. It's a different atmosphere around here right now.
Thursday morning outside Ford Center, where the Cowboys practice, the team put up this picture and condolences for a, quote, beloved teammate. Among those here is Brandon Duckworth, a Cowboy fan who lost his brother to suicide.
Mental illness doesn't matter who you are. It'll come after you.
These guys are human and they have issues just like we all do.
In Frisco, I'm Jobin Paniker.
And we would like to take this time to remind people that help is available if you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide. You can call or text the number 988. Someone with the Suicide Prevention Hotline will respond. Well, we are following new details in that deadly UPS cargo plane crash in Louisville. Officials now confirm 13 people have died, including the 3 crew members on board. UPS identified them as Captain Richard Wartenberg, First Officer Lee Truitt, and Relief Officer Dana Diamond, who's from Central Texas. Our Austin station says that Diamond previously served as the Commissioner-in-Chief of Bastrop County Emergency Services District Number 1. 2 others remain in critical condition at the University of Louisville Hospital. Investigators are still working to identify all the victims as the crews continue searching through that charred wreckage near the airport. There's newly obtained FAA records that confirm the MD-11 UPS jet was in San Antonio from September 3rd to October 18th, undergoing some major maintenance. An FAA service report noted a crack in one of the plane's fuel tanks, but after being repaired, the plane was in flight almost every day since. 7:13, time for your morning headlines. Today, the Supreme Court is set to consider an appeal from former Kentucky clerk Kim Davis. She's the woman who refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples after the 2015 ruling. Now, Davis wants the court to overturn that landmark decision legalizing same-sex marriage nationwide. Justices will discuss the case in a closed-door conference later today and could make their decision as soon as Monday. A federal judge has now ordered the Trump administration to pay the full SNAP benefits for this month by today. Earlier this week, the administration said they would partially fund the program, but the judge said officials did not act fast enough and payments must be given to the states by the end of today. Nearly 42 million people across the country get food stamps, including more than 3 million here in Texas. Happening today in Longview, the city is hosting a one-day drive-through emergency food drive to help families affected by recent SNAP disruptions. It goes from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Longview Convention Complex. Organizers are collecting non-perishable food, hygiene items, and baby supplies. About 18,000 people in Gregg County rely on SNAP, and donations can also be made online through the Greater Longview United Way. People will be forced to identify themselves by their birth gender on their U.S. passports. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of President Trump's push to require sex designations to correspond with a person's biological sex. In an unsigned order, the High Court says displaying the traveler's original gender is, quote, merely attesting to a historical fact without objecting to anyone's differential treatment. The 3 liberal justices dissented on the issue. Now, during the Biden administration, people were able to classify themselves as X as opposed to male or female. All right, it's time to get to our question of the day. Here it is for you. What's something that your parents said that you now catch yourself saying? You got anything, Joel?
I can't think of any like specific thing that my parents have said. It's more so like mannerisms and like personality.
What is it?
Just, I don't know, I feel like I share like this a very similar personality with like as compared to my dad, and just kind of like that and the mannerisms.
Every now and then I'll say something, I'm like, ooh, that sounded just like my mom. But I think it comes a little bit more when you start having kids, because then you start saying those things that your parents said to you, like, because I said so.
Because yeah. Oh, I will also say like a little bit more specifically, my dad, you know, he's a pilot, and you know he nerds out about aviation just like I would nerd out about the weather. So it's just kind of cool. We kind of talk like that, you know.
Yeah. Debbie's the one who said, because I said so. I totally do that. And then I like what Celia said. She said, were you born in a barn?
Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that from my Grammy. I've heard that from her.
And maybe one day you'll say Grammy sayings.
Maybe.
All right. Well, today I wasn't born in a barn, so I closed all the windows and the doors and turned the lights off. But how are things looking out there as you get ready to head out?
It's looking pretty good. Yeah, traffic-wise, we're looking much better than yesterday. No fog out there thanks to a south wind. That's kind of just blowing the fog away. But as we take a look at our I-20 report, we're looking really good westbound and eastbound. We got 2 hours over to Dallas for you this morning and an hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport. US 69 also looking pretty good. We got 2.5 hours up to Denison and an hour and 30 minutes over to Lufkin. 55 minutes from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches. If you're taking that route this morning, Tyler to Longview, that route is 40 minutes. 55 minutes, Tyler to Palestine, 45 minutes. Tyler to Athens. CBS 19 live radar is nice and clear this morning, not looking at any rain, just clouds. And as we take a look at visibilities, they are down just a little bit, but not quite as down as they were yesterday. We're down to 6 miles of visibility in Nacogdoches, some light haze across deep East Texas, but a lot of 10 miles of visibility, 10-mile visibilities elsewhere here across East Texas. I'm expecting clear conditions all the way through this morning. Temperatures starting out in the 60s. We'll make a run for the low 80s for this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies and a little bit of a breeze from the northwest.
Thanks, Joel. Still ahead, a major legal battle is brewing over one of the country's most popular online games. We'll tell you why Texas is taking action and what's at stake for players. But first, he's turning video game dreams into real-life highlights, and now he's looking at leading the postseason charge. We'll introduce you to our Player of the Week coming up in sports.
CBS19 Sports Report, sponsored by Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel Louisiana.
Morning, y'all. Dan Millay with your sports here. Appreciate you joining us. Jimmy Zierfoss joins us with our Player of the Week, Trey Hamilton, who's been putting up video game numbers.
CBS 19 Sports Player of the Week, sponsored by East Texas Professional Credit Union.
Trey Hamilton walks down this tunnel each week to play the game of football. So one day, he can play the game of football as Trey Hamilton.
It's always been a dream to see myself in a college football game. I've been playing since 2013.
And he's already getting a bit ahead of himself, because if you check the stat sheet, you'd think he was already playing a video game. 5 touchdowns, 80% completion, and nearly 400 yards in the air. It's like he was playing on rookie mode against one of the best 6A squads in Texas.
Got more comfortable and pretty much get to just show my showcase what I can just do best.
And what he's done best all year long is lead a Longview offense that's got some of the best young talent in the state. A skill he's grown in over the year, because in 2024, he was thrusted into the quarterback spot mid-season as a sophomore and learned on the job how to lead a team into a deep playoff run.
After losing last year in the 5th round, kind of fired me up a little bit. I just want to keep being able to improve as a leader, of course, and keep just improving my play on the field and do whatever it takes to get that win.
And yes, the Longview record isn't as squeaky clean as it's been in the past, but with this new and improved Hamilton leading the postseason charge.
Yeah, when we get to the playoffs, we know what we got to do. So, I mean, the record really don't matter, but once you get to the playoffs, that's when all officially counts. So.
Because in 2025, he's ready for that video game ending. Jimmy Zierfoss, CBS 19.
Love it. All right, looking ahead to our Under the Lights show tonight. It's the last week of the regular season, and our game of the week is a matchup with the district title on the line. It's Pleasant Grove at Van. Pleasant Grove has been here before, playing for another district title and a top seed heading into the playoffs. The Hawks are 8-1, undefeated in district play and looking for their 3rd straight district championship. They've done it the same way year after year, with physical defense, disciplined coaching, and a roster loaded with experience. PG is allowing just 9 points per game this season, forcing 18 turnovers and racking up 23 sacks with a front that loves to live in the backfield.
Our defense was really talented last year, and I think getting all of those kids back, obviously experience, there's a lot of talent. It's one of the best in state. They were last year, and they're back again and having a lot of success, and that's a tribute to those guys, and then our defensive staff.
Pleasant Grove enters our game of the week with a perfect 4-0 record away from Hawks Stadium, while the Vandals are also undefeated at home. So, of course, something's got to give. Tune into Under the Lights tonight to see what goes down. And again, for our kickoff show site game, thanks to those who voted, we're heading to Jack V. Murphy Stadium for Gladewater hosting White Oak Bears in the midst of an incredible turnaround year in the first season under Jermaine Lewis. Catch Jimmy and I out there tonight at 6:30. And of course, everyone in Cowboys world focused on the tragic suicide of Marshawn Nealon yesterday, but Dak Prescott was already scheduled to attend a field dedication after making a sizable donation to his high school in Houghton, Louisiana. Dak attended the ceremony while, of course, keeping Nealon on his mind.
It's been a very tough day. As you said, it started early this morning, finding out the news. Tragic loss. I hurt. Heavy heart today. I hurt for Marshawn. I hurt for his family. I hurt for his girlfriend. I hurt for every single one of my teammates. This is a pain that you don't wish upon anybody. You wish none of us had to go through this. You wish Marshawn didn't have to go through what he went through. And just thankful for each moment we have in this life, and don't take it for granted, and hug and love on those that you do.
The boys' first game without Nealon will come next Monday night against the Raiders in Vegas. But that's all the time we got for sports. Morning, y'all. Back to y'all.
Thank you so much. Well, we're about to step away for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a news update. We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for joining us for this news update. A Kilgore man convicted of killing a Hallsville teen more than a decade ago will now serve less time in prison. Kobe Ray Hudgens, who was serving 99 years for the 2013 murder of 17-year-old Kayla Williams, just had his sentence cut nearly in half. Hudgens agreed to a 45-year prison term. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals had ruled his original sentence might have been affected by overlooked mental health evidence, including years of abuse and PTSD diagnosis. A man has been sentenced to life in prison without parole for a 2021 murder in East Texas. Brian Johnson was found guilty of the kidnapping and capital murder of Aaron Ainsworth, which happened on Easter 2021. A San Augustine County jury reached a verdict in just 25 minutes. Well, fear and heartbreak rippling through one East Texas community after a mother of 5 and several others were taken into ICE custody. But some in the community say they're not facing this alone. Organizers say they're calling for compassion and transparency, saying they want to keep families together while ensuring that everyone feels safe in their community. Some who spoke yesterday say their families are affected by recent detentions, including parents with no criminal prior record. According to the Texas Tribune, fewer than half of immigrants arrested in Texas had criminal convictions. Here in East Texas, neighbors are now stepping in, helping with school rides, meals, and basic need for families suddenly left without a parent at home.
This coalition is willing to support in every way we can. If that be, helping with food, if that be helping you get the necessities you need, medication, whatever it may be.
Heartbreaking, So, at first I didn't believe him. I thought he was lying because we did talk about what if this were to happen, but we never thought if it would actually happen.
Grace says her mother, who's lived in East Texas for more than 20 years, was detained earlier this week, turning their family's world upside down. Grace tells us that she has to be strong for her mom, and she's holding on to hope that she'll see her soon. All right, let's get a check of your forecast as we get ready to head into the weekend and under the lights.
Yeah, we got some clouds for this morning. Those will eventually break apart into this afternoon. We got 80s on tap for this afternoon, definitely above average for this time of year. A couple of big cold fronts will be coming in this weekend. That'll drop our temperatures as low as the upper 50s to low 60s and even overnight lows in the 30s. We have a chance for our first freeze on Monday and pretty close to that on Tuesday. Weather impact alert in place for the first half of Monday for that chance for the first freeze and of course maybe some frost. So definitely want to cover up those plants as best as you can. Your 7-day forecast shows a small chance of rain on Saturday. Should we see any rain, it'll mainly be over deep East Texas. A lot of us will be missing out on the rain, however. 80s all the way through this weekend. Temperatures will fall behind the cold front to the 60s and 50s by Monday.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. A travel alert for flyers. We're tracking flight conditions across the country as staff shortages and delays ripple through major airports. Find out how it could affect your next trip. Plus, have you ever dreamed of resting among the legends? A Paris lottery is giving people the chance to own and restore a tomb in some of the city's most famous cemeteries. That is later in the show.
And we're tracking our biggest cold front or cold fronts of the season going into this weekend. We'll have details on how cold we'll get into the later half of the weekend and into next week in your full forecast coming up on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is on assignment. Airlines are canceling about 10% of flights at some airports today and warn more cuts could follow. The FAA blames air traffic controller shortages caused by the government shutdown. Experts advise travelers flying anytime soon to watch their airline's app for changes. Avoid layovers if possible as well. Several carriers are waiving change fees, and officials say the impact could stretch into Thanksgiving travel. We do have crews across the country right now tracking those latest flight cancellations, and we're going to start with Nick Volturo in Tampa.
We are at Tampa International, where passengers are bracing for some turbulence with a 10% scale back of flights due to the government shutdown. Now, these workers have been spending nearly 40 days working overtime without a paycheck. And right now, the FAA says it's really all about safety to make sure that these people are protected and make sure those people that are in the air are staying safe. And right now at TPA, we are seeing about 18 cancellations, 15 delays. You add that up, that's 33 flights that are impacted. Now, what we're being told is there's about 600 flights that come out of TPA daily. So when you look at those numbers, 33 impacted right now, they're expected about 60 to be impacted total daily. Of course, we're going to see how that fluctuates as the day goes on, because of course you have much better luck with these early flights, but that's going to be something to monitor as we continue throughout the day and of course into the weekend. For right now, reporting at Tampa International, Nick Volturo.
We are here at the Indianapolis International Airport. I'm going to show you behind me. You can see a lot of people. It's pretty busy, but it's a normal busy Friday as everybody is trying to get to their flights elsewhere or hit those connecting flights. We do have some good news for you. So far, only one canceled flight this morning. Everything else is on time. Here at the airport, about 40,000 people travel in and out of this airport. They're expecting about 4,000 people to be affected. The Indianapolis Airport Authority says they're doing what they can to make sure that people are getting in and out of here safely and on time. We're keeping a watch on this all day. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you for those updates. We're doing the same thing in East Texas already at Tyler Pounds Regional Airport. A couple flights already delayed as of right now. 9:47 this morning arrival is canceled, as well as a departure at 10:17. We did check East Texas Regional Airport, and according to FlightAware, their flights are on time for right now. So just keep an eye on those apps and also call the airport if you need updates. Right now, the search is on in Henderson County for a suspect involved in a drive-by shooting. Deputies say it happened just after midnight Thursday on Mary Jo Road in Toole. That's just south of the Cedar Creek Parkway. When investigators got there, the suspect or suspects had already left. Thankfully, no one was injured. Investigators say a white truck was seen in the area at the time, and they are asking anyone with information to come forward. Officials are urging residents to stay alert and report any suspicious activity. They say additional patrols are being done in the surrounding neighborhoods. An East Texas woman is turning grief into action, pushing for change after losing her son to a suspected drunk driver. And now she's fighting for a law that could help families like hers get answers faster. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza brings her story and the new hope she's found since.
At just 21 years old, Kobe DeVilla had a life that was just beginning.
Kobe was a lot of fun. When he walked into a room, you were going to laugh for sure by the end of the day. Just him being there. He had a real funny personality. And
son, brother, fiance, and just weeks away from being a father.
Two officers came in and they asked me to step out. I kind of just knew something was not okay.
Crash reports show Kobe was killed in a head-on collision on FM 2419 when the other driver, Richard Lynn Cooksey Jr., crossed the center lane.
He believed that possibly the driver could have been impaired, so he was going to get some blood work done.
Kobe's son, Crew, was born just 33 days after his death. And as Crew grew, the family was still waiting for toxicology results that could take more than 6 months to come back. Nearly 2 months later, toxicology results showed Cooksey had multiple substances in his system.
But I'm saying a fatality crash with a suspected impaired driver is different. You have families that are waiting for justice.
Cooksey was charged 4 months after Kobe's death with manslaughter, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and possession of a controlled substance. He bailed out 2 days later on a $230,000 bond. Her fight now is for reform. A proposal called Kobe's Law to fast-track blood testing in any deadly crash with a suspected impaired driver.
We would have got results a whole lot quicker. The person who committed the crime justice would have been served a lot sooner.
She started a petition that has since gained 3,000 signatures and support from Texas lawmakers, including Cody Harris. Harris said in a statement to CBS19, quote, "It's clear that any fatality-related accident that involves a suspicion of driving under the influence should be prioritized. Those toxicology reports should be expedited to ensure that justice is served swiftly. I am currently working with Representative Cole Hefner, who chairs the committee with jurisdiction over DPS, to find ways to solve this problem," end quote. Saturday, Trish will walk alongside Mothers Against Drunk Driving in a fundraiser to help victims of impaired driving.
I hope that it opens up a lot of eyes to people who choose to drink or do drugs and drive, to see how it affects so many people.
Grief became purpose, and time, the thing that took so much, is now what they're working to change.
Kobe always would give me a pat on the back when I stood up for something, so I know he would definitely be proud.
Because even after a loss, there can still be life. And for Kobe's family, that life is named Crew. For CBS 19, I'm Robert De La Garza.
7:37 now. The state of Texas is taking the company behind one of the most popular online games in the U.S. to court. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's office announced yesterday it's suing the Roblox Corporation. The AG accuses the company of ignoring state and federal online safety laws, claiming it has become, quote, a breeding ground for predators. AG Paxton is now demanding Roblox do more to protect kids. And he is also asking a federal judge to stop the makers of Tylenol from advertising the drug as safe for pregnant women and children. Now, this comes a week after Paxton sued Johnson & Johnson and its spinoff Kenvue, claiming they've misled consumers about potential links between Tylenol and autism. Kenvue says the claim is scientifically unsound. The FDA also maintains studies have shown the drug is safe when used as directed. Well, check this out, as the Texas Middle School cheer isn't just about flips and spirit. For some students, it's about belonging, building confidence, and making a real impact on campus and in their lives.
At Legacy Middle School, this is what making history looks like. In this gym, spirit isn't just loud. It's life-changing.
Seeing the kids, they needed something for after school. They needed something to, of course, belong to, but have ownership in.
These cheerleaders come from all different backgrounds. Some have cheered before, others started from scratch. But everyone's here for the same reasons: to belong, to grow, and to lead.
They get really excited when they did good or when they did better than the last time, and they notice it in themselves. That is what sets my heart on fire.
The squad practices 3 days a week and performs once a week.
Because we're not having the kids really fork out any financial money for this. It's purely just like, hey, we have a shirt for you. You want to join? Let's join. And it kind of builds that community for them.
They're already inspiring others across campus. Because cheer here isn't just about stunts and spirit fingers. It's about self-worth.
You can see it in their face, the way they walk through the halls. They know that they're leading their campus.
That confidence didn't arrive overnight.
I was scared if I mess up, and then in my mind I was like, I got this.
Some things that have surprised me about cheer is how fast I could do the moves.
It felt scary because it was a whole voice I didn't know I had inside of me.
Then came the moment that brought this team even closer.
Just bow it.
In September, one of their coaches, Miss D, collapsed at school.
The girl saved my life that day. You're not supposed to run in the halls, but that day I ran and it saved my life.
Yes.
After more than a week in the hospital and heart surgery, she's now back on the sidelines, stronger than ever.
Us cheerleaders and the whole school legacy, we're not only a school, but we're family, and we just have to be there for each other.
Sounds like they're doing a great job of taking care of one another. Well, if you're trying to stay golden, this might do the trick. A fully functional, solid 18-karat gold toilet is heading to auction. But why? The piece, titled America by artist Mauricio Catalan, who is also the same man behind the $6 million duct tape banana, is expected to fetch around $10 million when bidding opens on November 18th. It's very shiny. Sotheby's calls it a satire on wealth, luxury, and what we value most.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to need sunglasses for that thing. It's so shiny.
It's a very shiny toilet.
Oh my goodness.
I'll just stick to the porcelain one, you know?
I think so. I'll just stick to the regular white toilets.
Oh, it's fun. All right.
Oh,
well,
God.
French officials are holding a lottery where people can win a burial plot in a legendary Paris cemetery. A statement from Paris City Hall said that this is a way to restore tombs that have aged badly over the decades. Local regulations have made the clearing of abandoned tombs difficult. Lottery winners will get the chance to purchase and fix one of the 30 tombs in 3 graveyards among the legends who are buried in these cemeteries. Singers Jim Morrison, Edith Piaf, playwright Oscar Wilde. Now, each tomb is available for $4,600, not including restoration cost.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
And you're gone.
you're just gone.
And I don't see. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Exactly. You won't be able to see any of it.
It's okay.
But it's all right.
Interesting.
It
All
is.
right, General Mills is kicking off the holiday season early, and they're bringing plenty of sweet treats with them. Check this out. They've just rolled out 2 new cereals, Cinnamon Toast Crunch Mexican-style hot chocolate. Joel?
Oh,
Sounds good.
You got me a
And
hot
a
chocolate.
Sweet Vanilla Crunch Grinch cereal. And over in the cookie aisle, Pillsbury is adding a brand new Santa-shaped sugar cookie. Love it. Along with the classics that we all know, like Elf, the Grinch, Reindeer, Christmas Tree, Snowman, and even a little turkey right there. Gobble, gobble. You can find most of these festive goodies on store shelves nationwide right now. Ooh, and Nature Valley out with a little wafer situation. Ooh, hot cocoa rolls.
Ooh, that sounds pretty
These
good.
are some
Oh my
things I've never
goodness.
seen before. I would try the
Ooh.
Grinch vanilla flavored. That looks good. And I
You're
bet you'd go
trying.
with this.
I tried to go with the Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Yes.
Yes.
But would you try the cinnamon toast Mexican hot chocolate?
I'll do it. I'll do it. You had me on hot chocolate. I will gladly try it.
I would like you to do that for us.
I will let you know how it
Maybe not
goes.
today, but
Maybe not
someday
today.
soon.
Yes, maybe next Monday.
Ooh,
with
nice.
our low temperatures near freezing. We have our first chance
Wild.
for some freezing temperatures next week. That's going to be crazy. And then believe it or not, we go back above average into the upper 70s to low 80s. Let's take a look at what we have outside right now. Temperatures a little bit warmer also. Got lots of clouds out there. Kind of a gloomy start to the day. 65 is that current temperature out in Tyler. Also dew points a little bit elevated in the low 60s. That south wind that we're still continuing to have around 13 miles per hour is bringing up some moisture, and it's kind of translating into a couple of clouds. I shouldn't even say a couple of clouds. This is a bunch of clouds out there. They will start to break apart into this afternoon as the winds start to shift out of the north. We'll see some much drier air move in, which will give us a little bit more sunshine for the later half of today. We'll have temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s, and winds here across the area still out of the south at about 5 to even up to 15 miles per hour in some spots at times. But as you can see, for the next several hours here, we're going to watch as the winds go from the southwest and eventually turn from the west, and eventually the northwest, and eventually from the north. And this is kind of the precursor to what's going to be coming in for the later half of the weekend. This is just before that cold front comes in, so we're starting to see a little bit of a shift in those winds. So that's something that we're going to be really paying attention to here. But for today, still expecting 80s, partly cloudy skies, also 80s for tomorrow. It won't be until Saturday afternoon that we'll really start to see that cold front make its way into East Texas. That's where we have highs on Sunday in the low 60s, and it just gets colder from there on a Monday. I'll show you just how cold it'll get. Your full forecast coming up.
Sounds good. Thank you, Joel. What started with baby steps has turned into a global movement of doctors leading by example. Find out how walking just a few thousand steps can boost your health next. 746, new research suggests that walking just 7,000 steps a day can help ward off disease from cancer to dementia. A group of doctors is trying to help patients reach that goal, launching regular walks outside the office. Natalie Brand, she tagged along.
Well, thank you for coming.
What started with baby steps has taken off into an international movement of doctors setting the pace and leading by example.
Every little bit counts.
Dr. Michelle Justice Taylor Tyree, an OBGYN by day, introduced us to her Walk with a Doc group in Leesburg, Virginia.
Good morning, thanks for coming.
Which meets monthly for exercise and camaraderie.
I typically do this post-call, so I'm on call Friday night, so I just get out and kind of walk off the night a little bit.
Chapters like this one now span more than 600 communities around the world after Walk with a Doc launched 20 years ago, founded by Dr. David Sabger.
Something clicked that was really magical.
The cardiologist in Ohio stumbled upon the concept while trying to motivate his patients to move more.
You were getting frustrated.
So frustrated. At one point, I, proverbially snapped and said, how about if my family and I were at the park? Would you join us on Saturday morning? And that started this incredible ride.
He's on a mission to expand even further, promoting walking as some of the best medicine.
It not only reduces heart attacks and stroke, but also reduces cancer, Alzheimer's. There's over 40 other diseases.
I was introduced to walking for diabetes 30 years ago.
Joan Bickelhaupt is a newcomer to the Leesburg group.
For you, it sounds like it's the steps and the social connection.
It is, because it's very difficult for me to say, go on a walk, honey.
I really feel like I'm really embedding myself much more in the community with this walk.
Dr. Smina Khan and Jen Odatola are regulars.
I think for me, I'm just trying to practice what I preach, because I'm on my patients every day. Walk more, exercise.
And spreading the word about a simple prescription for better health. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Leesburg, Virginia.
All right, it's time to talk Friday Night Lights. Hard to believe, but tonight's the final night for a lot of all regular high school football season games. Seems like yesterday we were just getting this season kicked off, but some teams, they're now eyeing the playoffs while others are looking for district champ titles. And the season, well, it will come to an end for some. Our game of the week, though, is taking us to Van, where the Vandals take on Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove has cruised through their district, beating everyone by a substantial margin. And today they have one final step before claiming the district championship. It's a steep one, though. Van hasn't just been one of the best teams in their district. They're one of the best 4A teams in the state. The Hawks will have their hands full earning their district championship in 2025. And after counting through hundreds of your votes, y'all voted on Jack V. Murphy Stadium as the site game as the White Oak Roughnecks are taking on the Gladewater Bears. The Bears coming off winning their district against Atlanta last week, and they will look to end their season on a high note. One of the biggest games in the state is out in Canton. It's Sunnyvale is coming to town in a game that's gearing up to have the highest implications in the state. Not only is Canton looking to go undefeated for the first time since 1964, they are looking to win a district championship for the first time since 2007. You can watch the Under the Lights action right here on CBS 19 at 6:30 and 10.
All right, good morning, everybody. Let's get into your forecast for today. By the way, Friday Night Football forecast looks fantastic, and even before that, also looking fantastic. A couple of clouds for today, upper 70s to low 80s for this afternoon across the area. We are looking for our next big cool down. This is going to be our biggest cool down of the season so far. Keep in mind, our average is 71 degrees. We're way above that. We have been way above that. We are actually expected to be below that after a big cold front comes through Saturday afternoon and evening and into Sunday. We'll see temperatures as low as the low 60s, even upper 50s by your Monday. And then we do bounce back into the upper 60s, even upper 70s to low 80s for the second half of next week. We got a big area of high pressure in our upper levels that'll be moving in, replacing a deep area of low pressure in our upper levels. Basically, we call these Rossby waves, and they basically move from west to east, and they bring temperature fluctuations like we're seeing here. So big whiplash here. Also, low temperatures could potentially reach freezing on Monday and just near freezing on Tuesday. and eventually make their way back up into the 50s and near 60 for the second half of the week. First half of Monday, the CBS19 weather experts have declared a weather impact alert, 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. for our first freeze, potentially some frosty areas as well. I definitely want to cover those plants and also have an ice scraper and maybe fill up your tires a little bit, because we do have some cooler temperatures on the way that'll kind of deflate your tires just a little bit. 2 cold fronts coming in to the area. That'll bring our temperatures down to freezing for the overnight and 50s for the daytime highs on Monday. Then big area of high pressure returns to the area. We got temperatures aiming for the upper 60s, upper 70s, and yes, back to 80 we go for Thursday.
All right, we're getting back to our question of the day. What's something your parents said that you now catch yourself saying? I've got some new guesses.
Yeah, what you got?
I wrote these down earlier.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what about I wasn't born yesterday?
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you
You'll
go.
say that one day to your children. Don't make me count to 3.
Oh, yep.
I don't do that so much anymore because they're teenagers, but when they were little, oh yes, I did. And then I'd love it when they respond. They'd go 1, 2, and then I'd laugh, and it was, over from there. Jesus is also giving us some of his guesses. Let's see, what were they? Do you think money grows on trees?
Okay, I think I don't know if I've heard that from my parents, but I've definitely heard that from other people.
Because I said so, that's why. I'm not your maid. And also, if all your friends jump off a bridge, would you do it too?
Oh my goodness.
These are all things that as you become a parent come out of your mouth and you're like, no, I never said I would never say that.
And then it just happens.
And then it just happens. Mara is giving some too. Text me when you get there. That's kind of a newer phrase. My mom definitely didn't say that to me because there was nothing to, what were we going to text? Call me when you get there,
right,
is what it was back then. You'll thank me later. It's a good one. And then, because that's just how it is.
There you go.
Or how about, it's not up for discussion.
It's not up for discussion. This is it.
This
End
is
of
it.
story.
That's right. End of story.
End
That's
of
a good
story.
one. All right, we're about to step away for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast. We've got a news update coming up for you. Stay here with us on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dana Dixon for being with us for this news update. Well, we know a lot of you travel to different parts of the country using DFW Airport as a layover when you fly in and out of Tyler Pounds or East Texas regional airports. And starting today, the FAA says they will reduce air travel by 10% to 40 high-volume airports across the country. That includes Dallas and Houston. At Tyler Pounds Regional Airport, a couple flights have already been canceled as of this morning. One arrival at 9:47 this morning and a departure at 10:17 have been canceled. According to FlightAware, all flights in and out of East Texas Regional are on time at this point. Well, new this morning, the Houston County Sheriff's Office tells us that the arrest of a Gladewater police officer for child indecency is related to an arrest of one of their own deputies for aggravated sexual assault of a child. Gladewater police say Kenan Laza was fired from their department after the arrest. They called the allegations and evidence deeply disturbing. This comes just hours after Houston County Sheriff's Office deputy Skylar Laza was arrested for similar child sex crimes. The bond has been set for the man accused of shooting a Jacksonville police officer and her canine. Bobby Michael Dennis is now held on a $1.3 million bond after facing a judge yesterday for the first time since his arrest. Dennis was captured Wednesday night, ending a 3-day manhunt just west of Jacksonville. In court, Dennis interrupted multiple times.
You have the right for an attorney if you cannot afford one. You have the right to...
I do not understand, ma'am.
Request an attorney. You have the right to stop any question at any time.
I'm attempting to stop it because the United States Corporation has been dissolved, ma'am, by the President on January the 4th, 2025. That will be a Saturday. Okay. And also, you being a corporation do not have a rights over a living natural man. I am a living natural man, ma'am. That's under Penhall versus
Mr. Dennis, I am, by law, reading your rights.
He's charged with attempted capital murder of a peace officer, interference with a police service animal, and obstruction or retaliation. Great, we're headed into the weekend and going under the lights tonight. How are things looking, Joel?
Oh, they're looking fantastic. I mean, temperatures still above average for today, upper 70s to low 80s. That'll be the same story for even tomorrow as well. A couple of clouds will be a possibility. Rain, a small possibility into your Saturday afternoon. It's a very, very low end chance. Most everybody will be staying dry, but not everybody will be staying free from this right here. Everybody will be getting in on the cooler temperatures as we head into this weekend. A couple of cold fronts that we're tracking. One's going to be a little bit stronger than the other, but the first one comes in. We'll see highs in the 60s. The second round will bring our high temperatures as low as the middle 50s to even low 30s for overnight lows. We have the chance to see our first freeze for the first half of Monday. This is why a weather impact alert has been in place, or has been put into place for that first chance of freezing temperatures. And of course, some frost is going to be a possibility. Then we bounce back into the upper 60s to upper 70s.
News before you go. A federal judge has now ordered the Trump administration to pay the full SNAP benefits for this month. Earlier this week, the administration said they would partially fund the program, but the judge said officials did not act fast enough and payments must be given to the states by the end of today. Nearly 42 million people across the country get food stamps, including more than 3 million here in Texas. A man will spend the rest of his life in prison without parole for a 2021 East Texas murder. Brian Johnson was found guilty of kidnapping and killing Aaron Ainsworth on Easter of that year. A San Augustine County jury took just 25 minutes to convict him. And the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that people must now list their birth gender on passports. The decision backs the Trump-era policy requiring sex designations to match biological sex. The court called it a historical fact, not discrimination, though all 3 liberal justices dissented. Under the Biden administration, travelers could choose X instead of male or female. Time to get a final check of your weather on this Friday morning. Hey, Joel.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, one more look at your 7-day forecast here. Quite a roller coaster of temperatures here. 80s for today and for tomorrow. A couple showers could be a possibility over deep East Texas. Again, most everybody will be staying dry. Expecting mainly just partly cloudy skies. And here comes that cold front for the second half of Saturday and into your Sunday. Colder air comes in, high temperatures reaching the low 60s for Sunday, and then they drop even further with a low temperature on Monday of around 32 degrees. Weather impact alert in place for the first half of Monday for that possibility for the first freeze and for some possible frost as well. We'll see daytime highs in the upper 50s, and then here we go. We jump back up into the upper 60s for Tuesday, upper 70s for Wednesday, and then we make a run for the 80s once again by Thursday.
Alrighty, well, some people in Ireland had a scare after reports of a lion on the loose, but it wasn't a big cat at all. Look at that, police say. The lion is actually a Newfoundland dog named Mouse with a very unusual haircut. Yeah, the pooch's new look went viral, as you can imagine. And authorities say Mouse seems to be handling his sudden fame just fine. So it left all the party in the front and not a lot in the back.
I guess not. I thought that was a lion at first when I saw it. I'm like, huh? Oh.
Can you imagine coming face to face with that? Or maybe just looking at the backside of it a little bit, because when you look at the face.
Right, I'd have to do a double take for sure.
A double take, or you might be out of there so quick. Hey, we want to give you one more look at DFW Airport as you get ready to head out this morning. Flights are canceled across the country. Starting today, the FAA says that they'll reduce air travel by about 10% to 40 high-volume airports. That includes DFW and Houston, and it's already having an impact here in Tyler. Tyler Pounds Regional Airport has 2 flights delayed, one at 9:47 this morning. It's an arrival, and a departure that was supposed to head out at 10:17. All flights in and out of East Texas Regional are on time at this point, but please do check with your air carrier before you head out, and safe travels. Pack a lot of patience if you're flying today. I think we're all going to need it. We're so glad you started your day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. You can catch the noon show right here as well and on CBS 19, and keep it here for the latest. Here's what's coming up on CBS 19 Plus throughout the day. See you Monday, dark and early.